Okay.
I haven't just pushing on off. All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Tonight we have a public hearing on our budget. At this point, I'd like to ask the town clerk to read, deputy town clerk to read those. Yes.
Notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given that the town board of the town of Brunswick will meet at the Brunswick Town Office located at 336 Town Office Road, Town of Brunswick, State of New York, on the 9th day of November 2023 at 6:30 p.m. in the afternoon of that day for the purpose of holding a public hearing on the preliminary budget of said town for the fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2024. Any person wishing to comment on the 2024 preliminary budget or to speak in favor of or against the 2024 preliminary budget or any item therein contained will be heard at that place and time. A copy of the said 2024 preliminary budget is available at the office of the town clerk of the town of Brunswick, located at the town office, 336 Town Office Road, Town of Brunswick, weekdays between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., where it may be inspected by any interested persons. Said preliminary budget is also available for review on the town's website, www.townofbrunswick.org. The proposed salaries of the elected officers of the town of Brunswick for the fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2024 are as follows. The office of town supervisor, salary $40,255.66. Councilman, 4 positions, salary $13,091.81. Office of town clerk, $48,000 salary. Town justice, 2 positions, salary $33,998.42. And the office of receiver of taxes, salary $36,000. By order of the town board, dated October 27th, 2023. This notice was posted at the town hall, on the town website, and published in the Eastwick Press.
Okay, thank you. At this point, Becky or Pat, you want to make a short presentation? You went back earlier, so that, I didn't tell you. Just some of the highlights.
Total spending for the 2024 budget is $10,317,317.
Gee, that sounded pretty good. Sorry, library.
Taxes
10,000.
taxes remain the same. There's no increase in the taxes. The only place we're taking money out of reserves is to put in the highway department to supplement the CHIPS funds. CHIPS funds this year went up to 496,000, somewhere in there. And we expect that next year the CHIPS fund will remain at least that, if not go up more, but we won't know what the total dollar amount for CHIPS for next year until the state passes their budget in April. And then by the time they figure it all out in May, they send a letter out and tell all the municipalities what you can get for CHIPS money. So we always use what we got in the previous year for the CHIPS money for the next year. The employees in town all got raises. The highway department, we settled on their contract and it's waiting for it to be voted on, I believe. But some of the changes that were put in there, we reviewed, after talking to Councilman Sipperly about the control of dogs. We increased that up to 7,500. This year, we're like around 2,600 right now through October. And last year, we were at 6,800. So it varies on dogs that get loose, number of dogs that get loose every year and how much it's going to cost us. But the cost of boarding and the cost of everything associated with these dogs has been going up. We're starting to get money in from these solar pilot programs out there. We signed off on when they got approved, a couple of years back, but it takes a couple of years for all this to get, hit the ground running and start producing electricity. So we increased the revenue side by 14,000 more in pilot monies coming in. After talking to the supervisor, we put back 20,000 personnel for superintendent highway line that we had originally taken out. The interest in money's coming in on reserves and everything, because Pioneer now is matching the NILAF program. And the last I looked, they were a little bit ahead of NILAF, so which is a good thing. And the interest income now is strong again, where it wasn't, the past few years. So we were able to take up some of the slack with that. We increased again in the highway department the CHIPS money up to what we made this year, and added another $200,000 on top of that. We also increased the general repairs, personnel services, and machinery personnel services and their benefits in order to take into account what's proposed now for everybody to review and for the union to vote on the new contract. So that'll be taken care of in there. In the same, we had to do personnel services in the water department also, because the water department employees are part of the union, and they're associated with the contract. As you know, we increased the library funding this year. And then we brought it up to 152,000. We continue to get the monies for the seniors. We looked at 10,000 for their programs that they have, and that counts money that they use for trips, lunches, and stuff like that. There's 3 groups, so they each get $300 towards their. The money for the controller for retirement, we got the estimate, and it's going up this year. So the state retirement line is going up in all the departments that are out there. Nice. You guys got questions as I'm going?
I do.
Oh, wait a minute.
On the pilot programs, they're negotiated by, according to the megawatts.
Yes.
Is that megawatt capacity or actual output?
Generator. The generator.
What it puts out, then they from the pilot.
Yeah, so, and it's also what they have in their, papers when they're being approved or something. It's going to, their capacity's got to be, so. The
But
county
if
collects
it's
that
a
money.
3 capacity and it's a cloudy year and they only make 2, we get paid based on 2 or based on?
Based on what, if it was a nice year with the full capacity. It doesn't fluctuate. There's a payment
There's a
schedule
payment
in each of
schedule
these
in-
agreements.
Their agreement?
So it'll be based on what it's capable of, not what they're actually.
Right. Yeah, because this year was sucked.
Right.
With our generation here at the roof, the best month we had was May. June and July was low. And so like I said, we got 3 of them online now. 4 of them online now. That's like, and then the other pilot we have is with Rouse, the seniors, and that's reviewed every 10 years. Just reviewed their numbers and increased their pilot back in 2021. Those are what makes up the pilot rate. Anything else? Fire companies, we got their budget. Brunswick One and Mountain View are under their 3-year contract in the last year of that, so next year we have to do that. Center Brunswick gave us a proposed contract, we use that number. Eagle Mills, they gave us what they're raising in taxes, that's just a pass-through. And the same with Spiegelbaum, it's just a pass-through. We just put it in our budget because we collect the taxes for them, even though they're their own taxing district. We collect it and then give them the money. Anything else?
No. All good?
I think so.
Okay, at this time, I'll ask if we have any residents that would like to come up and ask questions or comments or anything. So far, you're okay. Alex, you seem to be okay for this?
Okay.
Come on, I got a question for you.
Oh, okay, let's do that first then.
Well, I'm hoping our librarians would say, I'm hearing rumors that she, maybe, okay, never mind. Personnel matter.
Yes. Okay, so
I'm just saying you're doing a wonderful job, she is too, so, and it's recognized, so.
and this will help us
That's what I'm
continue
hoping.
to
That's
do
what
a
we're hoping.
wonderful job. And if something were to happen, we need to be able to offer an attractive package to another creative and intelligent person. So,
Right,
okay, so, I don't know how this usually works, but I'm Alex Duggan, 70 Colhamer Avenue in Brunswick. But as usual, tonight, I'm here before you as the president of the library board. And I sent a letter to you all last week as soon as I heard. And I apologize because really, I should have also addressed the letter, I think, to the two of you, and anybody else who is involved in the budget. We are so pleased and so proud to have your support and your increased funding. I could read the letter, I don't know what's appropriate right now, but if just giving you my deepest, deepest thanks is enough, then thank you. We will use the money very wisely, and we'll be back asking for more next year. We're also starting our annual appeal this week. Our budget also counts on all the private donations that we get, so just because we're getting more from the town doesn't mean we can slack on our own fundraising abilities. So please, everybody continue supporting the library, come to our programs. The bigger our numbers are, the more we're recognized by Upper Hudson and the more services we get. So ask me a question. Yeah, you said. Or was that the question?
earlier,
Okay.
it was more of a statement.
Okay. Okay. We, as the population of Brunswick grows, we want to grow and meet it. And I don't just mean by size, but as the population changes and the needs of our residents change, we want to be right there meeting their needs. So your trust in us by giving us this increase just shows that this will be a great partnership. And I'm going to be president in a couple more years, so this is going to be a broken record for you. But thank you again so much.
Just to touch base, what happened was we had a workshop on the budget, to make sure the board could understand and ask questions on everything. And it was mentioned during the workshop that it was in the proposal to increase the library budget. And that was reported with the minutes and stuff. So the library took it to say that it's been approved. We haven't voted on the budget yet.
We are eagerly anticipating your vote.
But I will say, the reason it's in there is we talked a little bit before, so I think it's got a pretty good chance, so.
Thank you.
Anybody else at this point? James, come on up. I have to tip that down a little bit.
Just wait to talk until you're at
Got
the,
to use that mic.
sorry, just for minutes purposes.
My name's
That thing tipped up for Mike Bailey to put it down.
My name is Jane Tarloff, I'm the receiver of taxes here in Brunswick, and I've served over 20 years, and I feel like I do my job. I'd like to serve the residents, and I'm proud of it, and can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So anyways, it was brought to my attention about the public hearing and the salaries for the elected officials. Somebody last year congratulated me on the raise that they gave me, which was nice, because I felt like I was catching up to somebody else. And this year, somebody pointed out to me that it was a resident, I didn't even have a 2% on here. It's the same as last year. And all the other ones on here, it's over 7, except for the town clerk, which is a new person coming in. And so I just want to show you the difference. And to think about it before you.
Okay.
Is what it is. So if you look at that column, it's 2, 7, and it's plus 23.
What are you saying, it's a 7% increase?
There's a 7% increase on all of the other elected officials except for the clerk. And it's over 7%. This area.
Should be a 4%.
Well, it's, maybe I did the math wrong, somebody can check it.
Yeah, we'll check that. It shouldn't be 7%.
Okay,
If it is, we'll
but,
get a problem.
but I would,
Thank you.
what we'd like to do, is to look that over and, you know, if everyone's getting 7, I would like 7. If it's 2 or 4, I would like that too. I would, you know.
Now, I think we gave you a pretty good increase last year, higher than the rest of the staff. I think
Yes.
that was what was happening here. I
Right.
mean, we could talk more. but-
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, but it was because of, you know, like when I started, what people in different positions made. And I was lower than some, and then they are higher than you now, different positions, a lot higher.
And what's your schedule? I mean, you're not here, I'm just,
Yeah, I
you're not,
know.
it's almost like a part-time position, correct?
Well, it's not considered part-time like Alex Valley did before me. I work over 6 months,
So you work 6 months,
over 6 months.
over 6
It's
months,
over 6 months.
okay.
And, yeah, I can compare it even to the judges who, you know, they work 2 nights a week and what they get for the one night. So, you know, I mean, for the hours I put in, I'd like to be fair to
You
me.
just get up in the middle of the night.
I used to be here in the middle of the night. I used to be here when they
I'm
were
sure-
in prison.
I'm sure you're not here as often as the judges.
Pardon me?
I says, I'm sure you're not here as often as the judges are in the middle of the night.
Not anymore, yes, it's good.
That's okay,
Okay, so
We- okay, thank you.
Or your mic's not on.
Oh,
All right, anybody else? Come on up, sir. Geez, I didn't see you. How are you?
Tom Grass, 730 at my Route 7. I'd also like to comment on the salary increase that you guys are all getting. I think it's kind of unfair when people like Rebecca are here every day as the town clerk, people like Jane are handling everybody's money, and you guys as well are on here
No.
really once a month. And I know you do other things, you have
We-
meetings
We
as
didn't
well.
just, we didn't just increase our salary.
I understand everybody's getting salary increases, but your salaries are not fair according to everybody else's in the town, especially Rebecca's, especially Jane's. And I feel like the raise that the town highway guys are getting compared to yours is pretty inconsiderate, seeing that you're actually getting a larger percentage increase than them. So I just wanted to put that into record.
Okay. Becky, want to step up to the mic here? We're negotiating a contract, Tom, a new contract with the highway. We have not voted on it yet.
I know, I
What-
haven't
what-
voted on it, but I am aware of what the figure is. And
Okay,
like I said, I feel like their increase is what they do as compared to what you guys do. It's not the same.
what kind of increase are we talking for the highway, a percentage wise? Grab that microphone, speaker, switch on the spot there.
They weren't put me on the spot.
I'm sorry.
I don't know the percentage off the top of my head, but the increase for the highway, the union people is substantial compared to everybody else.
Right.
I'm aware that they haven't gotten a raise in a couple of years.
that's not true at all.
That's not true.
That's
There's a
not
lot-
true?
Just a lot of misinformation. Tom, what I would,
Their union negotiates a contract based on years, yes.
Correct.
And compared to what everybody else's salary has gone up, it is not the same.
So I'm trying to be able to conceive. So what happens with the union contract is that percentage that the highway department gets has been what everybody else gets. So if they get 2%, everybody in the town gets 2%. This year it's a little bit different because of what we negotiated for them as opposed to everybody else in the town. Everybody else in the town is getting a 4% increase. The union contract is much higher than 4%.
yeah, you don't have the number, Tom.
When you look at dollars per hour, the difference is so great that it's unreal.
Okay.
Okay, well, we thank you for your comments.
For the time.
That's it. Thank you. Just, I will say quickly, in order to line up the highway, I know that was, when you ran for office, your push was to come in and talk to the guys and tell them that they're underpaid and and so on and so forth, which is great. We gave them a while back a straight $2 an hour increase per hour across, so they're very happy. We're negotiating the contract now, we have not settled it, the board has not voted on it. We've had 2 meetings, last year it took about, or last time we negotiated, it was almost over a year of meetings. We've had 2 meetings so far. And the union came back in, the leadership of the union, very, very happy. We're gonna take it to the membership. What we offered across the board, a $3 an hour increase to each one of them. We already gave them 2 a while back. This is $3. That's a lot more than 4%. We did not, we offered to keep the insurance the same. It's a real good contract that you're not aware of. So when you go in and talk to the guys at lunchtime, when they're running for office and promise everything, that's great politics, but you don't have your facts. They're getting a nice increase and they're quite happy, but at this point.
I just want to say that I talk to them on a regular basis. It wasn't just a campaign thing.
Yeah.
But thanks.
I'm quite sure if you talk to anybody on a regular basis and say, do you want more money? They're gonna love you, so. So anyway, moving on. Anybody else at this point that want to come up? If not,
Let's move on to the
we close.
You ready to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close.
The motion to close public hearing, a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, got another one in about 5 minutes. Meeting. Okay.